Hello, Soul Family. Looks like I got it working. Let me double check real quick. Refresh. I got it. Okay, I finally figured out a workaround using the Prism Live Studio app to where I don't have to live stream from my laptop. I can actually live stream from the phone without 1,000 subscribers. I love this. But today I'm actually going to answer a question that I got in one of my Facebook groups yesterday. And the person was asking, they said they've been into spirituality for 6 or 8 months, and that they've been trying nonstop to open their third eye, and they weren't having any good results, basically. And actually they had a lot of chaos kind of coming into their life that they never expected could have happened. So I'm going to answer that question in a video format just so that I can, explain it in a little bit more detail. And this will be my first live stream from the cell phone. That's really awesome. All right. So the title of the video is The Importance of Building a Foundation Spiritually Before Advancing. And I see this a lot of times when people are very new to practicing magic or getting into the occult and spirituality. They usually try to jump in head first and go for much more advanced things like opening their third eye and awakening all these psychic abilities and stuff. And they think that they're going to be able to just go in, do a couple of spells, and poof, all their godlike powers are going to activate, and their junk DNA is going to activate, and they're going to have all these superpowers. But they never actually put in the work. They just want to do a couple little quick fixes. And it makes sense because today's society is a society of instant gratification. You got Amazon Prime delivering in a couple of days, streaming service at your fingertips. You can stream entire seasons of shows and stuff. Just many different things that people like that instant gratification, even social medias and having the likes and stuff like that. So it makes sense that people have these kind of ideologies. But the truth of the matter is, you really need to actually start and build your foundation first before you move on to any of these more advanced practices, and before you're actually even going to be able to get any good results from any of these things that most people are seeking for, like ascension and opening their third eye and waking all their psychic abilities. So speaking directly to this young lady and goddess, what you've been doing is you have been focusing on a chakra that's way up here in the body, and you have neglected and you haven't been working on these lower chakras. And we understand that the energy of the and is oh no, let me try to add this real quick. Boom. Okay. But your energy body and stuff, your subtle body, your aura, and your chakras and everything is all connected to your Kundalini. And if you haven't built that foundation with the root chakra, and you haven't started to really work on things for here in the physical realm, things connecting you to the earth in the physical realm, like your physical life, actually fixing all the problems in your life, and uh, getting, working on getting yourself out of this fight or flight response. Um, all the time, where you're constantly on the go and needing that instant stimulation. So what you need to do is go and don't just study the third eye and stuff. You need to study the entire subtle body. You need to study Kundalini energy. Before you even start doing any practices, you need to get the knowledge first, get the information. But during the information, you can be doing fundamental practices like meditation, simple forms of breath work, um, grounding yourself, getting used to feeling your energy body. Because the more that in tune that you are with being able to feel these subtle energies and these nadis and um, energy centers within your body and all the different channels of energy that go throughout your body. If you can't feel any of them, then how are you going to like purify and cleanse and activate these centers if you can't even feel them? So you need to start working with directing your awareness to these areas, starting with the root. And you need to study everything about each chakra and look for the correspondences. So we know the root chakra is connected to that fight or flight response, survival, the basic animalistic instincts that we have as being a part of the animal kingdom here on Earth. Because although we are the most advanced of the animals here, we definitely are animals. We're a part of nature. And, you know, yeah, we need to definitely understand that for sure, but that's off the topic. But start working on the root chakra. Deal with all the corresponding issues within your life, because if you go and research the Muladhara, you will see that there are good qualities of that chakra and or beneficial and non-beneficial qualities, and this is like through the law of polarity, and knowing that there's dualistic poles to everything. So even that chakra has different poles, and you need to be bringing in the positive manifestation of that pole, which is security, having your life and your financial system stable enough to where you can actually be doing all these spiritual practices, making sure that you're eating healthy and you're healthy enough to be able to be, fully activating your body and being able to tap into these energies. And then you need to be looking at the non-beneficial qualities of the root chakra, which is fight or flight, which is always being aggressive for no reason and jumping to conclusions and just having a reckless abandon to the physical life. So not keeping your financial situation, taken care of, not eating healthily, not having a good interpersonal relationships, because that root chakra is connected to survival, and survival has to do with like food, shelter, and procreation. So, the relationships you have a lot to do with that root chakra, and you need to start building that foundation at the root. From there, work your way up, but just make sure you've studied the chakras in a good bit, and you've been studying it long enough and restudying, that you're actually have memorized. So once you have all of the chakras memorized and stuff, and then all the stuff about the different nadis and energy channels that run throughout your body, and all the different chakra points and the subtle body in much detail. And I'm actually going to refer you guys to a really good book this thing is killer. It's called The Subtle Body, an Encyclopedia of Your Energetic Anatomy by Cindy Dale. This thing is amazing. It's a very big book, and it goes into everything about the subtle body. So that's a good book to get if you're really wanting to put in this great work and actually really start to transform yourself. If you're not really looking for transformation, then go find another path, And if you're coming into magic just thinking you're going to just do a couple spells and spirituality thinking you're just going to come in and get some sort of instant gratification with things, you're probably picking the wrong path. But all of us are spiritual beings, and no matter what spiritual tradition, whether it's religion or spirituality, you're tapping into these more subtle aspects of the self. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that topic. But I also want to add in a little sort of warning that is definitely a real thing, and most people I don't never hardly ever hear many people talking about this. And for this person's privacy sake, because I haven't talked to them recently, but one of my coven mates and dear friends, he actually went through a very intense situation where he had been doing certain forms of energy work and was working with his chakras and kundalini energy, and a few other different techniques and things combined. And he somehow had a spontaneous Kundalini experience happen where literally for months, I mean, this was months and months on end, like I'm pretty sure between at least 3 and 6 months that this was going on, maybe even longer. But after this disruption within his energy system happened from not, performing these things in a I guess safe and proper manner, not building the foundation first, it literally like fractured his psyche, and it was really sad to see because he could barely talk. He most of the time just grunted whenever you would talk to him and try to get him to conversate with you and stuff. So most of the times he was just like like clearing his throat and just kind of moaning and making grunting sounds. And every once in a while he could get out yes or no, or he would shake his head if you were asking something or trying to say something to him. But for the most part, it was almost like he was a child again, a little kid. So he would pick things up and just play with it like he really wasn't even all there. And after we had found out that all of this stuff had happened, and myself and this person's partner, and also another one of my coven mates, we performed a bunch of rituals, basically and was doing energy work on him, like with multiple people doing Reiki, and we finally actually got him throughout like an entire night's worth of. I mean, I'm talking like 8 or 10 hours worth of very intense ritual work and energy work, and throughout the time, it seemed like there were very conscious awarenesses that peeked through, and it was almost because where we performed the rituals were within all upon a bunch of ancient Indian burial grounds, Native American burial grounds, and there was spirits coming through his body midway and stuff while we were doing the rituals, and he was speaking in some sort of native tongue that the dialect and stuff we had never heard before, but it was very clear and vivid, and his voice would change to like, it was just extremely, extremely strange. But we finally had got his energy body and his spirit like somehow tethered back to his body, and once he came back to, he was just like normal again. It was the wildest thing. He just came back to and was like, oh my god, you guys, thank you. And like, him and his girlfriend hadn't been able to even communicate for the longest time, so they were like literally holding each other and just crying their eyes out, like so strong. And I mean, we were all just like completely drained at the end of it, to the point of almost even like nodding out right there towards the end. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences that I had with doing energy and ritual work to help someone, and it was very close to the heart because this person is close to me. But this just goes to show the dangers of Kundalini syndrome. It really is a real thing, and when you're doing these types of energy work and working with the Kundalini, you just need to be careful, and you need to start with foundational practices and work your way up to more advanced practices, and make sure that you are sound and grounded in the foundational practices before you advance on to any of the more advanced stuff, in the same way as in starting with the lower chakras and working your way up. You don't want to do it the other way around. So yeah, okay, I think that's probably about it for this video. But yeah, once we brought him back, he actually had mentioned to us that a lot of the time when we were sitting there communicating with him and trying to talk to him, he was trying so hard to actually communicate with us, and he was just unable to. And he had said that his spirit basically was kind of viewing all of us and everything that was happening from right above his head, almost like outer body experiences sometimes will be, or sometimes within the dreamscape or the astral realm, you'll kind of see from a perspective of third person a little bit. But he said he was trying his hardest to get back into his body, and until that night when we actually performed the ritual, did he actually was able to get back to his body. But yeah, he said it was very scary, and it was almost like a what do you call it? Sleep paralysis incident where he was there and aware and trying to communicate, but he just couldn't communicate with us. But this just goes to show that, there definitely are dangers within doing this, and it's nothing to be like, oh, you need to be scared. You just need to be cautious and aware, and make sure that you're doing things in, a correct order, and you're not jumping into a bunch of more advanced stuff thinking that, you're going to go from not even being spiritual or practicing magic and just do a few tiny things and be able to grow just massively. I mean, there's things within spirituality and magic where you will have these massive jumps and grow, really come into your power, and you really will eventually unlock all these powers, and you come to a state where you begin working with magic thinking that these entities and spirits and deities are these actual real things that are outside of yourself that you're working with. But the further along you go, you start to realize that these are all aspects of the self, and they are parts of your psyche and parts of the universe, the all source, and different archetypes within the mind of source. But yeah, that's a whole different subject. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and test this new app that lets me stream without having 1,000 subscribers, and also lets me do videos and all kinds of filters and stuff too. I don't even know. Let's try something before I end this video. Let's go. Let's do this real quick and just see. Love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I hope that actually came through. I will, let's see. A couple more little things and then I'll end it. If you came to hear the message, you can go ahead and like if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and if anybody has any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you would like me to just give you some more details and make some more detailed videos on working with each of the chakras and the Kundalini energy, then just leave that down in the comment section down below, and I will most definitely get back to you guys with some videos on it. Let's see. So we're gonna give you guys some thanks real quick if it'll. Thank you for coming and checking out the channel. Love you guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. I'm really excited about this streaming app, being able to stream from my phone, not having to worry about using the laptop. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, you guys. I love you. Y'all have a great day. Peace.